asked a question that I think was meant to be simple, but it turned out to be rather sophisticated. The question was just, hey, Chael, how do you think Colby is going to fight Masvidal? I repeated the question back. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? How's Colby going to fight Masvidal? Do you mean stand up with him or go to the ground? Is that what you're asking? The guy goes, yeah. Yeah, where do you think he's going to fight him? Because Colby's stubborn sometimes. He's a great wrestler, but even if you look at his last fight, which was against Usman, he chose to stand up the whole time. Okay, interesting point. I wasn't ready for this to be an interesting question until I started thinking about it for a minute, so I'm going to pose that to you guys. And we are going to say Colby. We're going to say, how is Colby going to fight him? We're going to put that on Colby. Because we've conceded in our minds that Colby's the better wrestler and Colby can take George down. That's why we're coming from that conclusion, and George is going to have to be reactive. We could be wrong right there. But that's where the question's coming from. How do you think Colby's going to do it? Is he going to go out and try to prove a point against his greatest nemesis, his one true grudge opponent? Likely Colby, and Jorge for that matter, will never be in a grudge match, something as personal, ever again in their career. Likely. Masvidal, Leon Edwards, there's probably something special there. I'm just sharing for you. What are they going to do? Is it going to be a situation where they both want to prove I can beat this guy, I can even beat him at his game? First off, I would like to tell you, no, these are professionals, and that would be a stupid thing to do. You always want to look good in fighting, but on fight night, you tell yourself the same thing every time. I'm going to win tonight, I'll look good next time. Every single night, it's about winning, so you're going to bring your best skills. If you were Team Colby, you had better get your arms around your guy quickly, right now, and let him know he does not know what he's getting into. And the same thing needs to be done at ATT with Masvidal. Those guys do not know each other, whether they think they do or not. Teammates, workout partners, cornering each other, roommates. Has nothing to do with it for two reasons. They were different weight classes. Whatever you think you know about a guy's strength or his speed or the positions that you're able to get him in and give him problems there, you don't know once they change weight classes. You have to start with that. Secondly, neither one of them was main event quality when they were training. They were both up-and-comers. Masvidal wasn't Masvidal until 3 years ago. Masvidal wasn't Masvidal until he hit a flying knee, which parlayed him right into Madison Square Garden and a championship. That wasn't that long ago, guys. Masvidal didn't know anything about 5-round fights, other than he watched other guys do them. Colby Covington was in an even worse spot when those guys used to train together. He was an up-and-comer with a lot of promise, but he was nowhere near closing out the night. 3 rounds versus 5 rounds is vastly different. Training versus competition is vastly different. 55-pounders versus 70-pounders, we're in a different conversation. Neither one of these guys knows what they're getting into. I'm not sure they're aware of that. And this is a very real thing. You will learn your workout partners, and you will have unwritten agreements with them that will last for the end of time. And one of them is who's going to get over on who. And if you try to flip that script and pick it up on him a little bit, and you know him well enough that he's going to pick it up, you're going to end up in a fight. Or you can both come in a little bit less, get a great workout, even if it favors this guy, and I can go on to the next round, and the rest of the day. I don't know that that happened between those two. I will just tell you, they don't know each other, no matter how much they think they do. Preparing for 3-round matches against completely different competition and using workout partners to get you there, as opposed to preparing for 5-round competitions in a different weight class that you've never sparred at against each other. You don't know what you're getting into. I love to tell you guys, one of my proudest moments in this sport, but Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum was the youngest contestant ever on an Ultimate Fighter. Season 17. Highest rated Ultimate Fighter of all time. And he was the last pick. He should have been the last pick. He wanted to pick himself. We would go through workouts where it looked like the whole team jumped into the swimming pool. Truly, got out there just so you could take your shirt off and wring it out. I've turned to Kelvin before. He didn't have a drop of sweat on him. I thought he'd gone in the locker room and I didn't see it. And I thought he changed his clothes. And I don't say that to be funny. The funny part is he did not. The whole team would be dripping wet in sweat. He looked like he just put a fresh shirt on. But he was the youngest guy. He knew how he was looked at. He had no problem with the role. He admired these other guys. He wanted to support them. He wanted to be the young guy looking up to everybody else. Just turned out that he didn't do his best work in the practice room. He had all that energy and saved it for competition. He's one of those guys. And I felt that firsthand. I was sparring with Kelvin. I don't know that Kelvin would remember this story. I remember it perfectly. I even know where we were. I know what we were wearing. We were in the cage on the set of The Ultimate Fighter. There's only one. So he and I were the ones in there. And we're sparring. Right. And I'm the coach. I have to be big brother. I have no choice. I cannot. I must let this guy know. You can trust me. You can trust me to steer your career because I'm so good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you right now how good I am. Bop, 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 moving around, Kelvin. Bop. Coming to the body. I'm moving around. A minute goes by. I have a 5-minute round. Second minute, coach makes a little announcement. You have 4 minutes left. Boom, I pick it up. I shift gears. Pop, 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 pop. But he picked it up on me. So another minute goes by. Coach makes the announcements. 2 minutes gone. So I pick it up again. He joined me. 1 minute left. Coach makes the announcement. I shift gears again. So did he. The sumbitch was holding back. And I know he was holding back because as I got harder, this round was the exact same. And I learned something about Kelvin Gastelum that day. And he was a fantastic workout partner. But he didn't have to win every round in the room. He did not come in to compete in practice. He came in to get better in practice. He did not have an ego. He was different. And he came in full of energy and greatly underappreciated on competition day. And he went on to become the youngest Ultimate Fighter champion, last pick in history. Something that's a record that he still holds. I'm only giving you that example because I've seen it firsthand. I wanted to use a name that you guys would recognize, but what you see in practice is not the same thing. And once things get established, even if that's on day one, to come back and flip the script after day one is a risky thing to do. Everybody gets their order. Everybody knows what they're getting into, and you're just trying to work out anyway. And I'm not sure that Colby and or Usman are fully aware of that. But one of them got the best of the other. Can we agree? Of course. But they both agreed to the fight. I could go back and look. If we don't get Uriah Faber and TJ Dillashaw in that cage before they both exit stage left, we have made a mistake. That fight must happen. But those guys were in the exact same spot where they trained every single day. They would tell you privately how it went, and they told the same story. Their teammates would tell you privately what those workouts look like, and they all told the same story. The coaches who watched and observed would tell the same story the same way as everybody else. We got it. We know what happened. But they both wanted that fight. So it's not about who can beat who. It's not about who the bully is. We've done this many times, and maybe you're going to beat me. I'm going to punch you in the face, and I'm going to kick you in the ribs. And if I got to hold my head down when this is over just for the opportunity to blast you in the face, I'm going to do it. It's going to be an amazing fight. It's going to be an amazing night. But whoever was coming up short there has to be fully well and have a level of confidence that that was not a barometer. That was a snapshot in time. 3-round contest against something totally different, opponent-wise, and guys in different weight classes. And then you've got the guy that was getting over on the other one. One of them did. But if he comes in with a confidence, or right now in training camp, the most important part of this whole process, his foot is anything but down on that pedal. And he's getting so arrogant to the point that he thinks I'm going to switch the way I fight to go prove a point. He's going to have a rude awakening. We don't know what to expect with Colby and Jorge. We are going to get a commodity aside from the performance. We're going to get to be entertained up until this fight comes. So we're win because we like that, right? More bang for our buck. Month worth of entertainment for the same price. Okay. Those guys also had best know right now they do not know each other.